it's time to review the games for today, June 20th, 2024 for Euro 2024. So, yeah, we had some interesting results taking place here. Uh, here's the bracket builder. Here's my predictions that I made before the game. And we'll start with Slovenia and Serbia. A very fun match between both sides. It was a 1-1 result. And so we'll just change that here, 1-1. And, I got the draw right. But I didn't quite get the score correctly. So, yeah, very nice to see the quality that both sides had today. I thought Slovenia were the better team, obviously. They were holding on to that 1-0 lead for just a good portion of the game. It was just so unlucky and pretty heartbreaking to see that they couldn't get their first Euro Cup victory ever. Today, Serbia tied it in the 95th minute off a corner kick. And, just super unlucky from Slovenia. My heart's going out to them right now. It seemed like after the game, the fans were still having a lot of fun, and, they really were just with their side through the whole 90 minutes and even afterwards, too, with just the unfortunate goal that ended up taking place. They had some phenomenal chances. They hit the post one time, and they really that if they could have just gotten that second goal, we wouldn't be talking about them like this. But Serbia showed their resiliency, and just came up with the result at the end. They were still creating some opportunities throughout the game also, so they were always threatening in some sort of way. And yeah, those substitutes really came in clutch for them, with Jovic having the winner. So good for Serbia, giving them a chance to stay alive in the Euro Cup. And same with Slovenia. That's 2 draws in a row. So they'll have 2 points. Serbia will have 1 point. So very fun game to start off the day. And once again, just my heart just aches for Slovenia. I really wish they had gotten this result, just to put a little more pressure on the other big teams here that are in Group C. So what this now brings us to just, oh man, where do we begin? Once again, Denmark showed up. They showed their class. They were calm on the ball. Always threatening England in some sort of way. It was a fantastic goal by Denmark. Nice long-range shot, hitting the lower part of the post and going in. Tremendous goal, honestly, pretty jaw-dropping. And yeah, they deserved the goal, and they probably deserved the second also, because their opponent on the day was England. And boy, where do we begin with England, right? It's just very hard to see just a team with so much talent and caliber and just stud names all across the board just show up the way they did. They just look so disjointed. They just can't figure out how they're trying to play or where they're trying to play to. It's like they're trying to guess where other players, where the players are going to be around them, and uh, you know, like just the confidence isn't there with this team to be able to free themselves up and just play a more fluid type of style. Everything feels tight and forced. I mean, it's just hard to watch an England side with just all the talent available for them not being able to play some better football. They're, they, they started off the game well, and then they had a, towards the end of the half, they had about a 5 minute spurt where, you know, Foden broke through, and they looked to be playing just a little more. They looked to show just a little more of that fluidity that you want to see from England. And then it just evaporated. We didn't get to see that again for the whole game until basically the substitutes came on and were making somewhat of an impact. But that starting 11 is just, it's hard, man. I mean, it baffles you how this team just can't make it work with the talent available at their disposal. You look at a side like Germany, where it's like they're making this work with young guys like Wirtz and Musiala. I mean, you even have Havertz there too. And then you look at England and their front guys, their front line with Foden, Kane, Bellingham, and Saka, and it's just not working out. So I saw Kane dropping back far too many times. There's no one there to just fill that gap up top whenever Kane drops off, and it just seems like for whatever reason they just can't read each other and where their positioning is. Foden, I mean, he showed those sparks of brilliance that you love to see from Phil Foden in Manchester City for like 2 or 3 plays. And then for the rest of the game was just completely irrelevant. You couldn't have even guessed that he was on the field. Jude Bellingham also, I think he tried to make more of an impact in this match also, just making those runs in behind the defender where he was receiving the ball from the wing. But it just isn't enough. You would have thought that if anyone would have tried to take this game over for England, it would have been Jude Bellingham. But it just wasn't the case. Harry Kane, he finally got his goal. It was nice to see him score. But, yeah, one crucial play was when Foden, he was off the break. He beat 1 or 2 guys. And he has Harry Kane right in front of him, making that run behind the defense. He's literally right in front of Phil Foden, and in a great position to receive the ball. But Foden, I mean, he must have had some tunnel vision in this play, because he just took, I want to say it's a wild shot, but he was completely off balanced on his left foot. And the way the shot came off his foot was just pitiful. Who knows what he was thinking. And, even if he didn't take the touch, even if he didn't take the shot, he still probably had another touch at his disposal. Yeah, just disappointing. I mean, whenever your striker is right there, you just have to feed him the ball, especially a guy like Harry Kane. And a player with Foden's quality should be able to see that from the start. That he should have seen that, 2 touches before he even took that shot. Or, he beat his guys, and right when he had that space, I don't understand why he didn't. I don't know if did he look up, because I'm pretty sure if he looked up, he sees Kane and he's making that pass. So for whatever reason, he did not do that, and it just cost England another, a better opportunity than the one that ended up that turned out to be with Foden's shot. One more thing about Phil Foden, he had a nice shot that came off the post. Coming in from the right side, he gets the ball, he cuts in, and he takes that shot low to the bottom corner. You can't fault him for shooting, but if he just had that little bit more of awareness, he would have seen Kyle Walker sneaking through there on the right-hand side, after, pretty much ready to receive the pass from a 1-2. So Foden missed that one too, and you know, you don't fault the shot because it was a good shot in the end, but it's just another one of those things where it just felt like it shows the desperation that England have to, just try to take their chances whenever they can, and they're just missing the poise that you see the best teams have or the best players in the world have as well. So, just another opportunity where Foden has a chance to create something better, and it just doesn't happen. I'm almost certain that would have been a goal if he plays Kyle Walker. He probably has a shot. If not, he probably has somebody in the middle. If not, you just got a corner kick. So, there it is. A lot of shots on Phil Foden. I'll say Jude Bellingham, he was very quiet this game, which you don't like to see. He did a couple of nice things, but in the end, England just doesn't have enough help around Declan Rice. And Declan Rice is one of those guys who, he's trying to make this thing work. He's trying to make himself comfortable to be in the right positions and telling his guys where he wants them as well. But why is it that England have to rely on Declan Rice so much? It's because when you look at their starting lineup, you see Trent Alexander-Arnold in the center midfield once again. It's like, I don't hate Trent in the center midfield, but I'm pretty sure they have somebody else who could provide more help for Declan Rice. Because Trent Alexander-Arnold isn't receiving the ball in the middle of the field and looking to create, to spread the ball to other places of the pitch. It's just not, he's a right back. You can't ask him to be able to do this kind of thing. Of course, Declan Rice can, but he clearly needs some help there. And the train's not going to move if you just have to go through Declan Rice every single time. So if you just pin Declan Rice down, England have nowhere to go from whenever they're playing from the back. So it's just frustrating to see once again. And they have somebody they can put in for Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's not Conor Gallagher. I respect his effort. He plays hard. He works hard, but it just seems like he's missing that lack of positioning, the coverage. Everything's always a press with him when, a player, I would say a better player like Declan Rice, he knows where to cover the spaces where the ball could go. So, England just have to find a way to help Declan Rice because it can't just all be him playing from the back. The pitch was a little rough today for the English players. For whatever reason, I didn't see any Denmark players slipping, so that was pretty interesting. Once he got his new boots on, Kyle Walker, he was a beast for pretty much the whole game. Not everything was perfect with him, but he was just one of those spots where you can rely on Kyle Walker to create and just drive this England team forward, but it shouldn't just be him too. I thought Saka had a decent match, similar to the other game where he's taking the players on. He's dangerous over there on the final third and beating players down the line. But there's just a lack of execution with this England team when it comes to the final third, and it just the body language too. I mean, you can just see they feel the pressure. So England just really needs to just get out of their heads. Maybe have some, or a left winger, right? Because everything just seemed to be going down the right, and if not, they would recycle it. Only Jude Bellingham would actually run down the left wing to create opportunities. For whatever reason, Foden just doesn't want to be in that left wing position. He doesn't get the ball, so England's it's shocking to see, and it's hard to see. So well played to Denmark. Just they were calm, they were cool, they were collected, even after going down a goal down. Even after going a goal down, they found a way to put one back on them, and then really make this England team nervous. So, and this is not the worst result for England. They're still leading the table. However, you just hate to see the way they performed against one of the better teams in this tournament. So Denmark are showing that they're showing their resiliency. It's going to be a fun match between Denmark and Serbia over here, and yeah, you have to think Denmark is going to pull away with the result, given that it would secure their place in qualification. We'll see England against Slovenia. The Slovenia team looks hungry. They created some amazing opportunities for themselves, and they could put the same pressure on England. They're capable of that, especially on England's side that just doesn't really seem to have an identity. I was hoping it would be Jude Bellingham, based off his first performance against Serbia, but it seems like they just still have some work to do in that respect. So that's enough about England. I'm sure there's going to be a boatload of other people who have much more in-depth criticism. So, and yes, we're allowed to criticize England at this point of the tournament. And so let's recap the last game, Spain against Italy. So yeah, I mean, I expected Spain to win this one 2-0. In my initial bracket, I had them tied 1-1, but that was before we got to see Italy and Albania, and then Spain against Croatia. I was already excited to see what the Spanish side could offer in this tournament, especially with Lamine Yamal. And today we got to see not just Lamine Yamal, but we got to see a little bit of everybody just doing some just magical stuff on the pitch. Nico Williams especially. Pedri too. He showed out. But man, Nico Williams should have had maybe a goal or two. And this game should have been 3-0 because Italy just looked like absolute dog boo-boo. Yeah, it was so bad from the Italians. Like, I had no idea what some of these players were thinking at times when the ball was coming to them, and no pressure. There was no pressure that was going to be applied to the Italian player, and for whatever reason, the guy would just knock it forward. Nobody's making the run. It just looked absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, if you're an Italy fan, you should be very frustrated and disappointed with the way the this team came out and performed. Uh, Now, this game was only 1-0, but um, Spain deserved the goal. They were a much better team on the day. Again, it should have been like 3-0, 2-0 at least. Like, I should have gotten this one right also, right? Um, but that's just the way football goes. And of course, the only goal comes off an own goal. So we've seen a pattern here where in this tournament where crucial goals are coming from own goals and long shots. So it's quite spectacular. We've yet to see a penalty awarded in the whole tournament also. So no goals from penalty kicks. Just a whole lot of own goals and some incredible long shots. And yeah, Spain just looked really nice. They're a team that you can just feel confident in moving forward, and they're going to be dominating most of the matches they play against their opponents, and they're going to cause the biggest teams in the tournament a lot of issues. I would love to see Spain just make a deep run, and this team has the caliber to be able to make it to the final. And Italy, I mean, they came up against a tough opponent, so that instantly just rattled this Italian team with just not a lot of tournament experience at this point. Historically, Italy is one of the best nations in the world, but they're just on a downturn right now, and they're trying to turn that around, and it's just a tougher ask for them to be able to do that here in Euro 2024. The good thing for Italy is that they're playing an aging Croatia, so this should be an interesting battle, and I do think they'll be able to get a result against Croatia. And again, hopefully we can see Croatia just make it interesting for Italy and just take advantage of just some of the stupidity that we saw today from the Italian team. Either way, Italy, they're going to be tough. They're gonna fight. They're going to hold on to that Italian tradition of just making it tough for teams to beat them. So this is probably going to be a 1-0 game for one of these sides, and I'm just leaning more towards Italy at this point. Spain have to come up against Albania, and so yeah, this will be an interesting match. Now that Albania, they have a point here they're working with, so it's not going to be all that easy for Spain, but the quality is there. So and this is a newfound Spain. So it just feels like this team just has a certain aura that I'm instantly just attracted to, and just can't wait to see, because they know they want to dominate the ball, and they have these explosive players on the wings that can really make things dangerous for other teams, which is exactly what we saw today. And I just love it. I love it. Cannot wait. Yeah, just close out here. Denmark, Serbia. Yeah, it's tough to call. It's tough to call because Serbia showed their fight and their will to not let up today against Slovenia, who played outstanding. And I was really inspired by them throughout the match. But Serbia showed some resiliency here. And so it's just a matter of how Denmark decide to come out on the day. We know they're the better team, and they showed that against England. Just a lot more poise on the Denmark side. But sometimes they can, in the past they've been guilty of just playing down to the opposition. So it should be a tight one. But Denmark being the better team should get the victory to guarantee their spot in qualification. And man, all right, England, Slovenia, this one's literally giving me a headache right now. Just anything with England on there is giving me a headache. And the my confidence in this team is it's just evaporated. I don't know how they're gonna solve the issues that they have in one game to be ready for qualifications. Because, yeah, I mean they're in a pretty safe position to get through no matter what. Um, so we might be seeing another draw here, but of course I have the 2-0 prediction for the time being. Um, yeah, we'll make some new predictions, but at the end of match day 2 over the weekend. So stick around for that. And yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Uh, let's see what we have lined up for tomorrow. We'll have Poland, Austria. This should be a fun match. Austria is a better team, so I do expect them to win. And then we have France and Netherlands. Mass Mbappe, it's official. He's going to be playing. I knew the people who were telling me that he's not going to play. It was just I knew it was just a load of crap because this is the Euros, and you know, a broken nose. As long as Mbappe can breathe, a broken nose ain't nothing but a thing. So we're gonna see the masked version of Mbappe. I just love throwing the hype around the mask effect because it's always just pretty interesting and it makes for some nice headlines. So yeah, I expect the Netherlands to give France some problems, but France is just a different beast, as I mentioned earlier. And then we'll have Romania and Ukraine. So this will be another fun one too between these two sides. And let's see what Ukraine can do. Can they bounce back? And can Romania continue? Oh, wait, no, that's wrong. Excuse me. We'll have Slovakia and Ukraine. So should be an interesting matchup. Slovakia coming off their win against Belgium. So they have to take care of business tomorrow against Ukraine. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you all tomorrow.